My wife's divorced friends convinced her marriage was a prison and she deserved to be free. She took off her wedding ring and flirted with a younger man. That was all I needed to set both of us free with divorce papers. Hello, Reddit I plus here. I never imagined the biggest threat to my marriage wouldn't be another man. It would be a group chat. If someone had asked me a year ago whether I trusted my wife, I would have laughed. Completely. Without hesitation. We'd been together for 12 years, married for 9, and had built what I thought was the kind of life people spent decades chasing. We owned a modest home outside Columbus, both had stable careers, and every Sunday morning we'd argue over who had to make breakfast before ending up cooking together anyway. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't exciting every single day, but it was ours. Looking back now, I realize marriages rarely explode overnight. They erode, quietly, one tiny crack at a time. The first crack appeared when my wife's college roommate, Miranda, finalized her divorce. Miranda didn't just leave her husband, she reinvented herself. Her social media transformed almost overnight. Gone were family photos and anniversary posts. Instead, every picture showed expensive restaurants, rooftop bars, beach vacations, designer handbags, and captions about living your truth and never settling. My wife, Alyssa, became fascinated. She started spending hours scrolling through Miranda's posts. At first, I didn't think much of it. Everyone doom scrolls these days. Then Miranda started hosting what she called Freedom Fridays. Every Friday night. No husbands, no boyfriends. Just women celebrating independence. The first couple of weekends, I actually encouraged Alyssa to go. You've been working hard, I told her. You deserve a night out. She smiled and kissed my cheek. You're the best. I genuinely meant it. Healthy relationships need space, or at least that's what I believed. By the fourth weekend, something felt different. She wasn't going out because she wanted to relax. She was preparing like she was auditioning for a magazine cover, hours in front of the mirror. Brand new dresses with price tags I didn't recognize. Perfume she'd never worn around me. High heels replacing comfortable sneakers. One evening I wrapped my arms around her while she was putting on earrings. You look incredible. She barely looked up from the mirror. I know. It wasn't the words, it was the tone. Cold, dismissive, like my opinion no longer mattered. Soon another habit appeared. Her phone became an extension of her hand. She smiled at messages she'd never explain. Sometimes she'd laugh so hard tears formed in her eyes. I'd ask what was funny. She'd immediately lock the screen. Oh, just the girls. That answer started covering everything. Who are you texting? The girls. Why are you smiling? The girls. Who called at midnight? The girls. Funny how the girls suddenly knew more about my wife than I did. Then came the wedding ring. One morning, I noticed it sitting on the bathroom counter. I assumed she'd forgotten it. The next day, it was still there. So was the next. Finally, I asked, You haven't worn your ring all week. She shrugged while making coffee. It doesn't fit comfortably anymore. I looked at it. It fit just fine. You've worn it for 9 years. I'm just tired of jewelry. Later that afternoon, I stopped by her office to surprise her with lunch. She was wearing 3 different rings, just not the wedding band. That sat in a ceramic dish at home. I didn't mention it. Instead, I started paying attention. Really paying attention. Little things began adding up. She'd angle her phone away whenever I walked into the room. She changed her phone password after years of us knowing each other's codes. She started going to the gym at strange hours. She suddenly cared about looking younger. She became distant physically. Conversations turned into one-word answers. Every disagreement somehow became my fault. If I asked where she'd been, I was controlling. If I asked why she seemed unhappy, I was insecure. If I wanted to spend a weekend together, I was smothering her. I kept asking myself the same question. Was I imagining all this? Or was I watching my marriage slowly disappear while pretending everything was normal? The answer came on a rainy Friday evening. I left work early because a client canceled at the last minute. As I pulled into our driveway, I noticed Alyssa's car was still there. Strange. She usually left around 6 for her girls' nights. I walked inside quietly. The house was silent. Then I heard laughter upstairs. Not television laughter, real laughter. The kind that comes from someone completely forgetting the rest of the world exists. I climbed the stairs. Her bedroom door was half open. She was sitting on the edge of the bed with Miranda on a video call. Neither of them knew I was home. Miranda raised a wine glass toward the camera. Tonight's the night, she said with a grin. Alyssa laughed. I know. You finally taking the ring off? She picked up her wedding band from the dresser, rolled it between her fingers, then slipped it into a jewelry box. I'm done pretending. Miranda clapped. There she is. Welcome back to the market. The two of them laughed. My wife looked into the camera and said something that hit me harder than anything else ever could. I honestly forgot what it feels like to have men notice me. Neither of them noticed me standing in the hallway. Not until I quietly asked one question. Then why are you still married? The room fell silent. Miranda's smile vanished instantly. Alyssa spun around so fast she nearly dropped her phone. For 3 long seconds, nobody said a word. The only sound in the room was the rain tapping against the bedroom window. That was the exact moment I realized something heartbreaking. I wasn't interrupting my wife's evening. I was interrupting the life she'd already chosen without telling me.